Good morning again, guys. I promise you I'm not trying to inundate you with videos, but as stuff comes out, I want to get it to you as quick as I can. And this morning, besides the generator review, has been a little busy. A lot of you, just like me, are beginning to experience this polar vortex that is coming down from Canada. It's not supposed to get out of the 40s today in Tennessee for October. That's freaking cold, okay? Talked to my daughter last night up in Northeast Indiana. She's traveling back from Chicago. Fortunately, she was doing it on the train, so she didn't have to drive in it. But she said there was snow up in the northern parts of Indiana today. And I read a comment this morning. Somebody said in Iowa it's frigid. New England, you're about to get dumped on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Welcome to winter, guys. It just decided to come early. Thanks, Grand Solar Minimum. There we go. Okay, but this is where it gets really important. We have now got warnings from the government, and this is reported in the Wall Street Journal this morning, of winter blackouts. There ain't enough fuel to power us, guys, through the winter, all right? Now, who is according to the journal, who's supposedly going to get hit the worst? All those of you guys in New England, okay? Because I'm not tell you about heating oil prices and all that sort of stuff, but on liquefied natural gas, okay? You all know the issues that we got on LNG and Europe's got because of Russia and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, all right? Most of New England gets their electricity because of using the fuel of liquid natural gas, all right? Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island. All of you guys, all right? And I'm saying, this is what's going on now, guys. Remember what happened in Texas a couple of years ago with that cold spell? And they started shifting electricity from other places down to Texas to get the power back on, running it through the power grid and moving electricity. Just because it's in New England right now doesn't mean that electricity is going to be diverted from Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, wherever, Virginia, up to the Northeast. I'll give you this, just so you remember this. 80% of the population of the United States lives east of the Mississippi, okay? That's what they're going to focus on, where the majority of the population is. I don't see them transmitting electricity from Utah to Boston, all right? But it's going to go in pieces. You may go from Utah to Cheyenne to Des Moines to Chicago to Pittsburgh to Boston, okay? We're out. And so this is going to affect us all. Just saying, okay? The issue that they have up in New England is the states have a limited pipeline capacity, and they rely on about a third of their liquid natural gas to come from foreign sources, okay? There's an issue, all right? And that's according to the Energy Information Administration, okay? I'm just telling you where the facts are coming from here. Here's the other big problem. Anybody ever heard of the Jones Act? Okay, it was also known as the Merchant Marine Act in 1920. Yeah, okay. Nothing like 100-year-old laws coming back and biting us in the butt, and the people in Washington being too stupid to realize anything about it. The Jones Act prohibits the transfer of product via seagoing vessel, via boat, via ship, however you want to put it, between states unless the ship was built in the United States and has a crew where the majority of the ship has a crew that is a majority U.S. citizen. This is where you get into the problem. There aren't a lot of American-built, owned, and operated vessels that exist, okay? And when you get them, the few that do exist, they charge higher shipping rates because there is a limited supply of the ships to do it. You know, gee, and I'm just going to make something up. Let's say Kennebunkport, Maine, and Boston, and what's another? Okay, just we'll go with that. Both want a ship to come in, okay? But there's only one ship. So what happens? There's a bidding war. We'll pay you 100,000. We'll pay you 120. Oh, we'll pay you 140. Okay, you win at 140. Great. Guess what? Now we're going to pass that cost on to the consumer. This is where the problem comes in. So the governors of some of these New England states sent a letter to Jennifer Granholm, okay, another Michigan quality politician there, who is the U.S. Energy Secretary, asking her to put a freeze on the Jones Act so that they could bring in liquid natural gas from foreign sources. Say, oh, I don't know, Canada, okay, because pipeline problems, right? You know, again, think of Michigan and the pipeline that runs through there, you know, and they wanted to shut that one down, and that got beat to hell. Well, New England's seeing the same thing. So what was Granholm's response? Crickets. Not saying a word. Not saying, yep, we'll do it. Not saying, nope, we won't. We're just going to ignore it. You know, typical Democrat policy. We'll ignore it and hope it goes away. All right? So this becomes a twofold problem. As the weather gets colder, okay, and you can't get gas, now you've got a limited supply of gas. So what are they going to do? Are they going to divert it to the houses away from the businesses? Maybe. Are they going to divert it to heating homes rather than generating electricity? That's more probable. Okay? Because people can live without the lights on, but people freeze to death when it's cold. And if you've ever been up in New England, it gets freaking cold up there. Okay. According to ISO New England, who's the region's power grid operator up there, all right, they're expecting rolling blackouts to balance the supply. Balance the supply and demand for electricity. All right. This is also going to drive prices up. And again, like I said, when you have electricity shortages, what are they going to do? They're going to divert it from other places. Guys, I did the video on the generator this morning, okay? And I know there's a lot of us that need power for something other than creature comfort, okay? And I'm not just saying cooking or making a cup of coffee. I know people need it for insulin pumps, for oxygen, for CPAPs, for medical reasons. It's important to take care of this because, as I've said many times, watch what's happening in Europe and plan on it to happen here. Guess what? We've just been told that it's here. Pinball out.